What's up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast, Finally, a Reason to Use My Psych Degree, with your favorite college graduate, Caitlin, with today's episode, Murphy's Law, Why the World is Against Us. Hi, hello. I hope you all are crushing it so far in 2021. Guys, we are growing. I would like to shout out my listeners in Germany this week. Hi, tell your friends. Thanks for listening. But for those of you who can't seem to get their lives together in 2021, I'm sure I have a few answers as to why in today's episode. Don't worry, in the wide world of psychology, there's always a reason and always an answer. And in this week's episode, we will explore why the world is against us with Murphy's Laws. I'm sure you know these instances. The one day you leave your umbrella at home, it rains. You make a delicious piece of toast and it drops on the floor with the butter side down. You lose your AirPods, and as soon as you buy a new pair and you get them in the mail, you find the lost pair. These examples and many more are under the ideas of Murphy's Laws. These laws explain negative instances in the universe, but do they really? Or are the answers just too obvious and overlooked? Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's learn the history. In 1884, a novelist named James Payn gave the dropping of the buttered toast on the floor example. But this idea wasn't made famous until 1949 by an aerospace engineer named Edward Murphy. Murphy was working for the U.S. military to calculate the amount of G-force a person can tolerate when stopping absolutely. But his projects always came back with problems, which led to the phrase, if there is a wrong way of doing something, then someone will do it. Well, is this a true statement or just superstitions? I'm not the only one asking. In 1996, Robert A.J. Matthews proved through physics why toast will always land buttered side down. Which, when you think about it, duh. We must take into account that the slice has butter on one side, and one side is heavier. Thanks to gravity, it will flip, but not a 360-degree flip. After all, the other side is butter-free. Maybe we're just overthinking it when we claim the world is against us on this one. It's pure physics. Let's try another example I know everyone has gone through. Also known as Etrury's observation, when driving in traffic, the other lanes move faster. Matthews looked at this as well and concluded it's all a game of statistics and probability. If there are two lanes, the one going slower will have more people in it. Therefore, you're more likely to be in that lane. Or we could blame our negative bias and selective memory on this one. We tend to remember bad things and consider them more important. So when we are driving, we tend to spend more time looking at the cars going past us than we do noticing the cars we pass. So here's the list of Murphy's Laws, and I hope you can get a good laugh out of some of these. Number 1, nothing is as easy as it looks. 2, everything takes longer than you think. 3, in any field of scientific endeavor, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. 4, there is a possibility of several things going wrong. The one that will cause the most damage will be the one to go wrong. 5, if anything just cannot go wrong, it will anyway. 6, if you perceive that there are 4 possible ways in which a procedure can go wrong and circumvent these, then a 5th way, unprepared for it, will promptly develop. 7, left to themselves, things tend to go from bad to worse. 8, if everything seems to be going well, then you obviously overlooked something. 9, nature always sides with hidden flaws. 10, Mother Nature is a bitch. And 11, it is impossible to make anything foolproof because fools are so ingenious. And here are a few honorable mentions and relations to Murphy's Laws. You will never find a lost article until you replace it. Matter will be damaged in direct proportion to its value. Enough research will tend to support your theory. And tell a man there are 300 billion stars in the universe, he will believe you. Tell him a bench has wet paint on it and he'll have to touch it to be sure. I don't know about you, but I have dealt with many of these instances. I am a glass half empty type of person after all. But seriously, is the world against us in this? Well, the idea of fatalism is that we are powerless to the whims of fate, that things will happen no matter what and they are unavoidable, which contradicts the ideas of free will, that we mere humans possess the power to make our own choices and that's why bad things happen to us. It seems that Murphy's Laws are a beautiful love child between fatalism and free will, because given a chance to do something wrong, we will do so about half of the time. Thanks for listening to my podcast, Finally, a reason to use my psych degree. Stay tuned next week to see if I can find another. What do you think, Mac?